All right, I'm here with Acer on day one after unfortunately being eliminated in the second group stage. Who did you lose to in the groups?
I lost to Gumiho and some guy called Snuffer.
Okay. Gumiho might be understandable because he's a Korean term, but what happened in the games versus Snufe?
It was the first games of the day and he gambled, totally gambled, and he got lucky and catch my greediness in game one versus his. Well, actually, I wasn't so greedy, but I was going fast Muta, and he was going Roach Brain Russia without actually any scout. But again, gambling, and in the VZ it works. Second game, he gambled fast guess, fast layer, fast Muta, and he was a little ahead because of that, but the main problem was that I forgot to make third hatchery. I was sure that it's made, but like in 1 minute or 2 minutes, I'm gonna send some drones to that hatchery, to the third hatchery, and I see the drone is staying in the place where he made it. I don't know why drone didn't make it, but
Okay. So
if Snuffer he lost to Velmo to 0, I won Velmo to 0, so it should be a tiebreaker if Snooper would not win a game versus Gumiho. And again, he successfully eliminated and passed the group stage.
Okay. So of course this is hard, but does it affect your will to play, or like is CVC an issue for you overall, given that was what made you lose?
CVC is not an issue for me at all. Actually, I'm sure that it's kind of a strong matchup for me, but there is still some part of CVC is gambling, and if you gamble successfully, you can win. Usually it don't happen in best of 3 or in best of 5, but it happened 2 times in a row. Sad, of course, but it happens.
So talking about your games versus Gumiho, given that you managed to take a game off of Flash a month ago at MLG Dallas, did you feel confident going in up against another Korean TVCer?
I saw that first game he was gambling, kind of, because he was playing like Fast Factory. And second game I decided to gamble too, because I saw no scout from him. If he would do the same, I would make a push and win, probably from one base. And he made Fast Reaper, and it worked.
Oh.
I mean, overall, I was gonna counter him, and he was countering me, so my gamble didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. Then.
So it's a lot about luck too. If I would be a little lucky to catch his no scouting, I would win.
Do you think do you have an overall problem playing against Terrans in Heart of the Swarm, given
it's kind of hard now, so I had some strategies to play with, to win the Terrans. It's like, of course I can play macro, but most of macro games are pretty hard with Terran. You can win, but it's really easy to get disadvantage from the beginning because Terran is kind of too greedy or too aggressive. And again, it's gambling, and if you gamble well, if you get lucky, you can kill like 20 drones and then you're ahead totally fully, and you can just make 4 bases, mass marines, marauders, medivacs and mines. So I think overall it's kind of disadvantage for them from the beginning by Terran at that moment. I hope they will change the balance a little, but
overall, when you say that taking gambles and stuff like that, it seems to be a consensus that when a Terran opens with fast Reapers, they don't really do gamble anyway, because they actually often get damage done, and even if they don't, they can still transition out of it pretty fine, given that the fact that the Zerg has to be occupied with the Reapers. Do you feel like this is something you have a hard time dealing with overall? Because, as far as I remember from your Wings of Liberty days, you were quite the greedy player overall. So, do you think that it's hard adapting to preparing for all these early attacks that just come?
I changed my style of turn like after HOTS came because to base safe build is not so safe anymore because like Hellbite drops and some gambling again.
Yeah.
It's not so good. But overall, it's a lot about gambling anyway. And I play right now at the moment like mostly like fast gas to counter Reaper to don't let him scout too much with it and play like faster surge, more drones. Still greedy, but
Yeah.
a little more safety. But still there is no safe yet.
Okay then. So overall, do you have any final words to say? And is there anyone you want to thank?
Thanks for everybody for cheering for me. Thanks for Acer for supporting me. Actually, my plan was really big for that Dream Park because I was practicing for that like for 1 month, and I was expecting to get at least top 8. At least it was like the minimum because I was playing like 30 games a day. But it happened.
Okay then. Well,
I'm in a good shape, but I saw how like the first games of the day and gambling successfully, and you just lost.
yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.